It is Friday the 13th. Yes, it is. Lisa Blow, not superstitious though, I am told.
Oh, yes, I am.
But no, because I've asked you
very.
about this day in the past, and you're like, no
It's
big deal.
not Friday the 13th, but I am superstitious, like any race tracker.
Okay,
You know,
hold
I
on
have
one second.
things
Hold
that
on.
are bad
I
luck,
gotta
man.
examine this more. By the way,
Yeah.
I'm Jeff Pratt. So what type of things are you like?
No boots on the table. Okay, that's bad
No
luck.
boots
Don't
on the
put
table.
your
I've never
boots
heard
on
that
the
one
table.
before.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's bad luck. What else? Well, if your helmet falls off, that's like falls down on the ground, that's it. You're coming off. And then, you know, I have some lucky garments that I wear on certain occasions as well. You know, those types of things. Yeah, did anybody see the movie Let It Ride?
I have
the
known
lucky
you
toilet, right?
for 26 years. I did not know this about
Oh
you.
yeah, no, I'm really
Really?
especially when it comes to like competition stuff. You know, it's
Wow.
all got to be the same for me, right?
very
Don't
interesting.
you have a lucky seat here? You don't have a lucky seat? See, I have a lucky seat.
I haven't found it yet.
I have a lucky seat. I have a lucky number. You got
I have
a
a lucky number.
number.
Of course, 11's my lucky
And
number.
I'm surprised that you're here today because last I heard, I thought that you and Jason Portwander were headed to Port Dover on your Harleys.
Oh yes, yeah. So we're all revved up and ready to rock and roll. Beautiful day for that.
But then you ripped your chaps?
This is what happened. Okay, this is what happened. Travis and Taylor called me last night and asked me to go to the hockey game.
Ah, yes, yes.
But I said, guys, I got to work. I can't miss Woodbine, right? So that's why I'm just dedicated to coming here to
Oh,
Woodbine.
I thought of another one. When your reins hit the ground, forget it.
Oh, okay.
Just pack up and
Do you
go
think
home.
Robert Geller has any superstitions?
Yeah, I bet he does.
Do you think he had one 10 years ago today?
No, that was an intuition, right? Where
That
it
was his first day with us here at Woodbine.
Yeah, can you believe that?
10 years, that's
Wow.
crazy.
It went by
Imagine
fast.
like it was one thing, like I kind of remember Darryl Wells, but not a ton.
You mean senior?
Senior, yeah. Senior, well, junior for sure. And then Danny was the guy that I grew up with. And then I was like, ooh, trying to replace Danny, that's tough.
It's hard, yeah.
And especially because you're going from two Canadian accents to an Australian accent,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah.
is different. So
Yeah, but you know, like
he's been great, though.
fit right in.
Yeah, he is.
He's a part of the family.
He is, and he had some great calls last night, and we'll recap that for you. Pietro Moran had a great day at the office. He won 3 on the program. We were very turf heavy on yesterday's card of racing. Biggest price, just looking here, 6-1 was Jet Sweep Joe.
Jet Sweep Joe, and I'm kicking myself for not putting that horse in
Yeah.
the top spot because he had the back class, you know.
He did. And that was a really fast time too.
Very
for
fast.
that
We had to
particular
check
race.
that just to make
Yeah,
sure.
we had to verify it. Yeah, no, that's true. I don't really think I have any superstitions.
You
I'm
don't at all?
No.
Oh my goodness.
No. Like a lot of hockey players, they'll put their left
Oh,
skate
yeah.
on first and then their right
Well,
and
this
stuff
is
like
what
that.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's all
I'm
the
not-
same stuff.
I'm not too. I have lots of issues, but that's not one of them.
But we'll discuss that on another day.
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
doctor.
that's a show called Dr. Phil, and we'll have that for you a little bit later on. But let's find out what your thoughts are on this program today. So normally on a Friday we have 8 races, but because we had to cancel last Friday due to air quality, we're now up to a 10-pack here today. And I'm going to get my money's worth with you today because you are not with me tomorrow. You'll be doing the Pepsi North America
You're
Cup.
going to enjoy the silence for a day. You know, it's like, you know, the work wife you're sharing me with another work husband.
No, it's
Tomorrow's
fine.
nice.
It's fine.
Little swapsies going
Absence
on
makes the
tomorrow.
heart grow fonder.
Listen, I'm going to be really tired come race number 5 on Sunday.
I will buy you
but
some
we'll
coffee.
do the best we can. Do
Alrighty.
the best we
Let's
can.
get the timer going here. Cut back in distance. Let's touch on that here coming up in race number 2. I have a bit of a wise guy pick in this race too that I think I might be onto something. You and I kind of like trying to find these diamonds in the rough, but let's first of all get your thoughts here on race number 2.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at this 6-horse Frack Right who's on the drop because, I mean, you got to figure he's going to be speeding
Yeah.
this race. And Scotty Fairley, you know, it's funny. There's a lot of people here now and a lot of riders in the room who are, you know, younger, that sort of thing, that maybe don't remember just how hot Scotty Fairley was back in the
so
day.
good.
Man, like he was, you know, he had what had to be like top 5 over maybe a course
one of my favorite horses, Mr.
5 or
Epperson.
10 years. Yeah, he ended up in another barn too.
Yeah.
With another guy who just happened to be a top trainer. But you know, you got to remember, like some people will look and say, "Who's this Scott Fairley guy?" I remember.
Sharp.
Jeff remembers. He used to be so great with claiming horses and moving them up, that sort of thing. So I'm going to use Frack Right, who's dropping in today for Fairley. He'll use Flores aboard, and we know Flores has been super hot. I think just go straight to the front. The interesting horse here, actually, to me, was the one, and that's Empty Gesture. Is that what you went?
Yep.
Because, you know, Ralph Biamont, who's been training horses I don't know,
Long
60
time.
years,
Yeah.
something like that. Long time he's been around these parts. I believe he's recently kind of stepped away, right? He's retired because, you know, he lives out in Niagara near me, and I saw him pumping gas the other day, and I thought, well, then I guess he's not training horses. That might be true. But his wife owns horses, and he'll still own horses, and it looks like he sent them over to Bill Threads.
Yeah, and you know what? You might remember, she's been kind of all over this horse from a classification point of view. Like, she won back-to-back races, then they ran her for 40. Now she dropped back down for 10 when she was claimed. They're taking advantage of the waiver claiming here. So I think they might be onto a good thing. And you know what I really like, too, is the rider follows the horse.
I love that.
So that's a good sign for me.
That's always a good sign for me.
So Empty Jester, kind of my long shot pick there coming up in race number 2. So that's our first subject here for today. Cut back. We are going on a summer holiday. If you want to come, that's swell. We're going to London in New York City, and we'll take a little bit of Amsterdam. You know that song?
No. Like, what was that from?
Gosh, I will play that for you on the YouTube
I think you
once
have.
we're done.
But is it one of those, like, Canadian
I don't know.
things?
It's one of those, what do they call them? Earworms. You know, just get stuck
that's
in.
It's your earworms.
I know.
And mine too, because every time the horse races, he sings the song, and then I'm thinking to myself, do I really want to show the replay? Because Jeff's going to go, we are going on a summer holiday. And then, all right, I guess I better. So this is a replay from the last effort for Ontario Holiday, when he ends up finishing a pretty good second. Now, here's the problem I got now, and I got to tell you, this is one of the races we brought back from last Friday's card. I had already sent this replay in for last Friday, so I just thought, you know, I'd reuse it. But at that point in time, Sheeran, I thought, okay, well, he ran pretty good that day. But now that we've recarded it for today, Sheeran has since gone on to race at 4 years. He was dropped all the way, well, he was dropped in for 6, and here he's in the 75. He was dropped in for 6, and I don't think you can find him with the searchlight. I think he was last and was claimed at 4 years. Now, maybe he doesn't like the dirt at all, but is it a good reference that this horse, you know, just got close to that one, Sheeran? I mean, in the gallop out, he's able to get past. The barn is super hot. I mean, this guy, you got to get on board the Devin Gittins bandwagon. And Cavay Nichols, of course, one of his go-to jocks, so I use this guy up on top.
Last time Ontario Holiday ran, the first 7 races on that day were all wire jobs.
Oh, there you go.
And was trying to come from off the pace, and he couldn't just quite get there. Back River finished in the 3rd place position. I put the 9 in second. You've got the 6 in second. Yeah, Back River. I can see why you like Back River a little bit in there. Celentano. Now, this was a race that was to go as race 4 last Friday, and Celentano was not part of the original field.
Yep.
So they kind of got a sneak peek.
I love that.
Me too.
Yeah, because there's 4 races coming back today that were scheduled originally for last Friday. So that's exactly what the trainers get an opportunity to do. They go, oh yeah, okay, well I can just pull that up, see who was entered in. I look like I might fit in there, and then they end up entering. So I would take a close look at the 9 as well.
Because if you're not familiar, when you call in to enter your horse into the race office, obviously you don't know who else is in the race.
Nope.
So it's a bit of a oddity that you get a bit of a sneak peek because the race was canceled and carried over. We have 5 more seconds. Anything else?
No, that's it.
No? Okay, so we'll just stare into the camera.
Do you want to sing the song one more time?
No, we're done. Top at 3 says Journal Best Bets. Okay, so let's get to race number 5 on the program, because this is where we're going to find the best bet courtesy of one Doug McPherson.
Oh, qu'est-ce que c'est? Who is that?
We have battling best bets. He's got Leo Party as his best bet, and I like Rapture Bay. Now, the 2 similarities that these 2 horses have got is they're both Florida invaders. Now, Rapture Bay, I don't know why he kind of went off form down in Gulfstream, but he got back on track here.
Yeah, because after they claimed him for $8,000, it looked like they took a lemon, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the horse was beaten 22 lengths and then 38 lengths, but they got him up here to Woodbine, and he turned the tables a little bit. So
and I don't think he's a sprinter either.
No. I mean, a mile and 16th, I think, is ultimately what he'd like to do. He's got some great form if you kind of ignore those 2 races off of the claim. So I'll use him in the top spot. Then I'll use the 6 Winston Blue, who's on the drop. This horse dropping from 15 in for 75, so having in price. Hell Bent is a horse I'll toss in. Did you use that? Because you often play that barn.
Hell Bent, I've got that. No, I don't.
Don't have
Not
that one today.
No.
And Modassa is, you know, one of these Kevin Attard droppers. And I know the race leaves a lot to be desired, but I have a hard time playing the 4.
You know what I don't like about Leo Party is I just don't like when you see this. Vet scratch on May 4th, trainer scratch on June the 1st. Like,
One work since he's been here.
But Doug must like the horse to make it best. I mean, obviously he does,
I don't know. See, I wonder too, like what I noticed, I think early on in the season was Doug was picking a lot of Tampa horses because I think he was down there a bit.
And it used to be a great angle because they'd come up here and they'd be so fit, right? So that used to be a huge angle. You know, I keep wanting to see run well as our buddy Jaybird, but I don't know.
I don't know. You know, I mean, Jaybird, we just can't figure him out, and we can't figure him out, and the trainers can't seem to figure him out either.
The
like,
speed
what
horse
do you
off
do
the
with
pace
this
horse. They've tried everything.
Yeah, they've tried. I mean, I remember
have.
Mike Dunslow saying, like, I'm going to change him. I'm going to make him come from off of the pace. And they tried, and he was able to close a little bit a couple of times, but I think he wants to be on the front end. It's just he can't sustain it.
Let's talk a little late pick 5 now. We have 2 pick 5s in the program because we have 10 races today. The 6th went as scheduled on the overnight as a 6.5 furlong event. Main optional 25,000 claim. Now we saw a split similar to this yesterday, and you had some horses that ran a little bit better with the surface change.
Yeah, that's true.
They improved a little bit with turf. So is that angle you used in here, or are you kind of banking on others that you think might be taking a bit of a class edge?
Well, I kind of use the 7 horse, and you know, for various reasons. A, it's Kevin and Pietro, and you just can't leave them out. B, you're dropping from 40 in for 25. This is the lowest price tag this horse has been in for. You know, the Deputy Daddy has since turned out to be a good horse, and you're going to see that one on the Sunday program, I think, in another tough race, actually. But I think we're going to be all right. We might be all right on the grass with this horse. I did use the 9 as well, Lasting Silence.
That's who I used.
Dale DeRusso, he's dropping horses lately, and I think you have to figure out what the right dropper is to play, because remember we all got sucked into that horse last week?
Yeah, dropping from 40 and for 15.
Yeah, and he got claimed too, so you know that worked out in his case not very well for us. But he does switch up riders and go to Sofia Vivez, which is interesting because I've never seen him use Sofia, at least I don't think so, right? And then I'm thinking to myself, well, if I want to use Sofia, it's likely because I want to get this horse out of the gate. So I would assume the move is to flash some early zip for Lasting Silence.
Because he was in a different race last Friday, and I don't think Sophia was Ryan. I think it might have been Rafi that was Ryan.
Well, Rafi is normally his go-to guy, but Rafi's here for Tino with Prime Plus 1. But I just find it interesting. I'm thinking maybe he's just looking for a little early speed.
Now there's Look at Alzado.
This
one is owned by
is.
Cheryl and Frank Melly. They are the owners of Johnny's Pizza in Orangeville. If you're ever up in that neck of the woods, great pizza, great wings. And let's hope that Alzado is able to have some success as a first-time star. This one by Air Force. Look how happy Robert is.
I know. And you know what's funny? The mare of this one is a foo peg. They were nuts. Like anybody who
remember
had
him.
I know, but then Offspring was nuts too. And hopefully this one is a little bit kinder. Obviously it is, because before with the foo pegs, there's no way Robert would have been able to get close enough to get his picture taken without losing maybe some hair or a piece of his arm.
So that goes as the start of our late pick 5 segment. So our next topic is going to be bold move. Okay, so what are we talking about here with the bold move? What do you mean by this?
I'm just going to show you a move that's really interesting to me. All right, because I've seen this kid do it twice now, so I'm going to call him out on it because it's his move. He's almost patented it, and the move is with the 10 horse in this race, and that's It's Just Money with Zero Ford. Now, this is this is a journeyman type of move, right? Not necessarily something you see a bug rider do, but this is very, very interesting. And I'm going to give him a lot of kudos here for this too, because he does look a lot before he makes the move. So nobody can get mad at him saying, he didn't look. He looked many, many times. So this is me driving home on the QEW, on a Friday, right? Yep. And I'm stuck in traffic. Now I look to my right, I want to change lanes. I look to my right again, I want to change lanes. There's no move there. I look to my right one more time, I pull my steering wheel over, I say, let's go. And I put my foot on the pedal and we kick it home. And you know what? That's exactly what he did with It's Just Money. I thought it was a real gutsy move from a bug rider. I was really impressed by it. Do I like the horse here today to repeat? Well, I got him in the top 4. I think the horse you got to beat is the 7 Stylish Gent. Yeah. What I find interesting for both the Adamo horses that he has in today is that he's waited the 30 days on both of them to bring them back for the same price tag. That's kind of interesting. In the past, that would turn a few people off. But he took this horse for 75, he's waited the time, and he's brought him back for 7,
and
which is interesting.
The thing that I like too is, I think it's easier when the horses don't have to go to Fort Erie and come back, and I think he's been based here.
Well, that's the other thing. We think, that's what we're guessing, because we know he only has a handful of stalls here at Woodbine, but he has a barn full at Fort Erie. But we don't see
he worked here on May the 23rd, that's just the...
Well, he would have had to work because he would have been a 30 right? Yeah. But, I mean, I find it interesting that, you know, he's been claiming a ton of horses. Maybe he, you know, wasn't thinking so highly of this one when he got back to the barn and decided, what the heck, I'll wait the 30 days, I'll run him back, jam him in, win, lose him, and move on. Yeah,
and, you know, just one that I don't have on top, but I just want to point out had a disastrous trip last time out was the 6 Told It All. Had a terrible start, so we'll see if that one can recover with a bit of a better trip here today. So that is the topic. Bold move. What are we going to call that move? The X Factor?
Yeah, I like that. I like
All
that.
right, so there you go. Okay, so race number 7, we'll start off the late pick 4. Let's get to the old splitteroo in here.
Yeah.
Okay, so race number 8. 5 furlongs. We're going to go in an optional claimer in this spot, and you literally have horses coming from everywhere in here.
This is the other Adama horse. Now, this one's based at Fort Erie, the one, Granger County.
Yes.
So we haven't seen this horse since last year, and all the works are based at Fort Erie, which, you know, leads you to believe that this one's been working there, maybe shipping into race, or maybe has shipped in the last little bit to train over the surface. Executive Search, a horse who comes back off of a layoff. You got this Phil Hall horse coming in from Turf Paradise. His horse is coming in from Hastings, even though sometimes they, on paper, you're like, well, they look like they might be overmatched. They managed to win, so maybe take a look at that one. Mambo on 3 is here as well for Zelko Kretschmar, but here's a good old guy that I'm going to rely on today in race number 8, and that's Determined Fury. Watch this replay. This is just a cool old horse.
Now, you and I were talking about this off camera. And this is a topic that we should maybe put out to the fans. Do you think this horse likes this type of trip?
You know, and it's funny that you said that to me today, because I was thinking the same thing. I wonder, and you think about it too, especially when we do a lot of harness racing, you'll hear from drivers and say, well, he likes to be covered up, right? I don't know if that's the plan, if this horse likes to be covered up, but because he's such a good old veteran of racing, he makes a move here through the middle where he splits horses that, you know, a younger horse, first-time starter, those types of things might back away from. You'd think, you know, maybe a horse would back away from being stuck in the middle, but nope, this guy is like, see you later, Joe, and he ends up getting the win. I just think he's a cool horse. I love these older horses, don't you, Jeff? Like the 8 and 9-year-olds that we're seeing here. If you want to actually take a real deep dive into it, some of the oldest horses we have racing, and remember we only go to 9?
9,
okay.
Yep.
Some of the oldest horses we have here, the 8 and the 9-year-olds, so far this season, have given us some of the greatest efforts.
Well, look at Bordertown last night.
Yep, I mean, 9 years old.
Amazing.
Yeah, and they've given us some of those, as I like to say, those hold my beer moments, which are a lot of fun.
Yeah, they are a lot of fun for there too. So, like, you know, what a cool race in here. And you know who is working very fast? Now, I don't have the horse anywhere. Look at the Carlos Grant horse in there, this Nisha Ren.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I know the track was really fast last weekend, but still, I mean, this horse has been working lickety-split. Now, it's never won the synthetic, but I just kind of find it interesting that they've got this horse in this particular
Carlos
event.
had a winner on the program yesterday.
Right now.
Yep, and that was, I wrote it down here, a Silent Sunshine with Hernandez.
Yeah, hung and tough along the inside. Fun race. That'll be race number 8 on the program. 7-11, topic 7, 11 horses. There we go, the old 7-11. Remember when you were a kid? That was always a big trip for me. Like, I had one that was like a 15-minute walk. Yeah, you lived in
the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, so like me and my friends would be like, Mom, can we walk to the store?
Can we walk to the store? That was a big thing.
Go get a freezy, come back.
Okay, I'll give you an example of rural life. On a Sunday, my dad would drive from the farm to the local store, which was about 10 minutes of a drive, to get the TV, to get the
TV Guide?
No. Well, yeah, he had to get the Toronto Sun because it had the TV Guide in it.
Yeah.
Had the racing results in it. Normally they had raced the night before, and if we were good, we got to get a chocolate bar.
You sure it wasn't for the Sunshine Girl?
Nope. I don't know. don't get that in my mind, Jeff. I'm excited about Father's Day right now. Ugh.
Yeah, but you're right. My parents still get the paper.
Yeah? Oh, see, my father has boycotted certain papers.
Oh,
but, you know, he's down in Kentucky now. You saw the local paper there.
Yes. I saw. I'm going to go towards another one of these Bruno first-time starters.
Why not?
They're winning all over the place.
Is it a homebred Bruno Chickenhead's horse?
It is.
Sure.
But not a stallion, though.
Oh, it's not his time. Yeah, I did exactly the same thing.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, they were so well spotted, especially the horse yesterday. That was
come on, like that was interesting. I mean, he's got a couple homebreeds in here, so he's got I'm Not Lost, who's a signature red, and then he's got Joe Jagger, who's a Jagger, which is his own stud, who produced So Delicious, who was a winner on the Sunday program and paid $53 to win.
Yeah.
And we were kind of giggling about that one when we were reading the pedigree on the horse, and then who got the last laugh.
Yep.
But I'll use the 9 on top. Why not?
He who laughs last, laughs loudest.
Yes, that's true.
Yes, yes. That's my very deep thinking for today. Let's look at our race 10 selections. Let's take a look at plays of the day. We have 2 similarities here today.
Oh, do we?
Yes. I think I only had one. I only had one yesterday that was victorious.
Oh boy! Well, I got the drop and pop angle.
Yeah.
With the Cerami Speedster and also getting onto the grass. Stylish Gent is my price play on the day today. That's the 7th. Did we talk about the 7th race on the show? I don't. Did we?
Did.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, Stylish Gent. You're right. Oh, yes, that's the Adama horse that he waited the 30 days on. Determined Fury is my best bet, the classy old McRae horse. And Hemlo Gold is very, very interesting, getting back onto the turf course today in race number 9.
I'm with you with Hemlo Gold. I think I made that one of my multi-leg singles coming up in race number 9. My upset prospect is the one that we touched on in race 2, that being Empty Gesture. My best bet of the day, if Mary Self is watching, she told me she was going to Gulfstream to watch the races today. So we'll put Rapture Bay on top. And she's got 3 of her horses running today, so that's a big day for that barn. And my speed threat is going to be Stylish Gent. I know that Ronnie likes Hemlo Gold. He's made that his best bet of the day. We've touched on Doug's. This Woodbine TV prod,
whoever it is,
got me yesterday with Wagstaff. He or her. Or do you think it's AI?
I know it wasn't Nathan Squires, because when we were talking to him before the race, he wasn't sure what the horse was going to do. And then after, I actually sent him a text after and said, I guess that's what he wanted all along.
2 turns.
2 turns in grass.
And I was talking with Rob Landry, who's the general manager of Cheesewood, and that was the first Yorkton to win at Woodbine.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So
that's
that
very
was kind of cool to see that horse had some success. Clocker.
That's the 60 minutes.
I'm Jeff Bratz. I'm Elisa Lowe. Those stories and more on 60 Minutes. Oh, this is good news for us, Elisa.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. I mean, come on, guys. We've all seen the Adamo story before, and he's pretty sharp where he puts his horses. He's got 3 in on today's program, and all 3, I think, are live.
I like it. Let's look at Stylish Gent. You know what the game plan is.
Yep.
Catch me if you can. When we take a break, we're going to go down memory lane, and we'll go all the way up to 4 number 6, despite the fact the elevator is broken yet again. And we'll talk to Robert Geller with our View from the Booth segments. More Woodbine Racing Live after this.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
Walker's Terrace ranging up on the outside, top of the stretch. Go Sherman Go, joined by Walker's Terrace, and the favourite trying to go on by. Walker's Terrace on the outside, and Go Sherman Go by 2 lengths to Pentameter, and they mail order groom, but Walker's Terrace got the upper hand, and Walker's Terrace drawing away, and as they come down to the wire, late as Aesthetic, but Walker's Terrace goes on to win by 1.5 lengths. Go Sherman Go second, Aesthetic deep on the track third, and behind them Pentameter.
Okay, we were just having an argument. I think his accent's
argument?
changed.
No.
Yes.
You think it's changed in what way? You think he's more Canadian
sharper,
now?
yeah.
Well, he's been in the country for 10 years.
But I just kind of think, drawing away, drawing away.
I'll tell you what, though, it was a big change.
It
like
was
you said,
a big change.
And boy, now, I mean, that's the only voice I hear in my head is Robert Geller. And today, of course, is a celebration for him, and the elevator's broken, and you and I can't get up. I'm going.
All right. That's okay. That's okay. So our social media team caught up with Robert to kind of go down memory lane, and we'll talk about his first day of race calling here at Woodbine.
Way in racing and a great start. And missed into stride is Flying Echo, showing early speed from the outside. Through pressed on the outside, and the ground rail is
I can hear the tension in my voice. I was nervous. I cannot believe it's been 10 years. It feels like, honestly, it feels like a blink in a really good way. Oh, there's the one. Yeah, it had some run. I remember the day very well, and there were lots of great fields, and I remember I was told I'd be starting on what was the weekend of the Woodbine Oaks. So I felt the pressure, but at the same time, I felt I wasn't going to be too hard on myself, and I was quite aware that once the first few calls were out the way, I could settle into it, and I was thrown right in, and I loved the experience. I loved it. It was great. With app reward. 2 is Miss Bobbit, owned by Box Arrow Farm, Gordon Colborne. I do notice my accent has changed. I think it must have been quite pronounced for the audience because they weren't used to that style. But even to me, I feel it's sort of changed a little bit. So I noticed that. I'm pleased I've kept some of the expressions I have and that that's been accepted by the audience. But I'm also pleased I've learned so many.
Get past Hard to Capture now and is drawing off to win a comfortable victory, and Sky Shanet's into the win.
It took me a while to really find my true voice, I would say, but I think that's okay. I'm very proud to be the representative as the voice and public face of Woodbine. I think it's a fabulous track, I really do.
Give me a couple seconds.
We think he's a fabulous
He's the best. We love Roberts. Especially when tennis is on in the background. So that's our
Now,
favorite.
I don't know about that. Upstairs, they might tell you differently.
He's a big tennis fan, is Robert. Robert, happy anniversary, my friend.
Thank you.
10 years
Appreciate
ago.
it.
Does it feel like 10 years?
No, not at all. It feels like
fast.
a very short time.
Yeah.
I can't believe 10 years is gone. I mean, you can if you look at me, you can see the grey hairs. But I have to say, I agree that I think, Jeff, my accent has definitely altered. Yes.
Yeah. I think you've become a little Canadian. I think you have.
You think? Eh?
Yeah. Now, when you called the Oaks, because that's a tough race to call.
Yeah, like talk about baptism by fire.
And
Jeez.
Robert, it was a big price horse that won the Oaks on that day too. Were you kind of second guessing yourself, like I'm waiting for this horse to stop? Kind of. It was Academic who won it.
Right.
And Justin Stein actually rode on that day.
Yep. You know what was interesting was perhaps because I hadn't had a history of the form as solidly as people who've been on track, I was just calling it from instinct as I saw it, and it slipped my mind how big a price until I started to feel that Academic was actually traveling like a winner. In fact, I always felt that Academic was going like a winner, and then it hit me. This horse is like a huge price. So to me, I was just following my instincts, and I knew there in the stretch that they weren't going to catch this runaway winner, and it was exciting. I think it really fueled the race, the fact that I really suddenly realized this horse was such a long shot and was so very comfortable in winning this Oaks, and it was great. A BC shipper coming across and all that stuff was interesting for me because I had come across from the west coast from Seattle, and I was very close to Vancouver, and I felt connected in that way too.
You know what? Listen, Robert's a great person. Like, we're so lucky to have him. He's a great friend of ours too. But you know what I think Robert's best attribute is I think he picks up moves in races.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very early, which I think is a fantastic thing that our track announcer can do.
And he has a bird's eye view,
He does,
right?
yeah.
But over the years, you've provided us with a lot of good tips too.
Yes, the handicapping's not bad. You've been in some purple patches throughout the years.
And some droughts.
Well, it happens to the best of us, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Robert, we hope that we have 10 more great years with you, buddy, at least. Because you've been a fantastic addition to us, and we're lucky to call you a friend. And just sit back and kind of soak things in again, because you should be very proud of the 10 years that you put in so far.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And you're going to be with me tomorrow, right?
Oh, yes.
I
You're
am,
filling in
yeah.
for me.
Might have a few
All
surprises for you about those top 10 list, maybe.
Oh,
Maybe a
surprises.
10 questions.
All righty.
10 questions for Jeff Bratt. I love
Yeah.
Now, before we sign things off, I have 2 questions. Have you found the sweater that you're missing?
No.
And have they found
I
your
made many
car
phone
yet?
calls. I phoned the dentist. I phoned the hairdresser. I phoned the gym. They're all saying no. I'm trying to remember what bench I might have sat on when I went
There's
out
a
for lunch.
$50 reward here
It's really
too,
getting
right?
desperate.
Yeah.
Yes. Robert, have a great day, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, there you go. Track announcer Robert Geller join us here on the show. Any final thoughts?
No, I think it's a beautiful day, though.
It is
Nice and cool.
gorgeous.
Perfect for the horses today. Not too hot, not too cold, just right, as Goldilocks would say.
That's right. And the 5 horse is looking at you right now.
Oh, he's looking at you, Jeff.
Yeah,
Take
say
me
nice
home.
things about me. 22 minutes away from the opener. Happy Friday, everybody. It's Friday the 13th here at Woodbine.